Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Welcome to another episode of Another Pod, Do Not Relent. I'm your boy, Slidewhistle.
'Tis I, Immunization.
And it's me, Aaron, Fire Mage Extraordinaire and Horde Punching Bag. You can catch me flying over to Vault of the Incarnates, sighing, and then walking away. Real Alex Straza energy.
Sometimes you just gotta be a big, moody, big titty goth girlfriend, you know?
And I respect it. She was too late to prevent Razdagath to opening up the raid, and she said, I could sit here and, spit a speech, but I'm just going to turn to you, look at you in your eyeballs, give you a quest, and then go home.
But then I also believe we did get a little bit of lore before the raid, even, that had a bit of an in-game cutscene where the aforementioned Mommy Stone was not able to be activated.
Alex Straza could not dommy the Mommy Stone. She tried to dominate it and use her forces, but it kerplunked out.
Like a fart in church.
But yeah, we have officially started Season 1, which means that we have the raid and Mythic Plus.
Yeah, so this is a really exciting week, or it has been. And what was really cool was when I was doing the quest to fly to the raid entrance just to see it early. This is a really sick raid entrance. It kind of reminds me of the older raid entrances. You know, just a cracked hole in the side of a building, and there's lightning footprints leading up to it and the stairs.
Yeah, so the main premise is what Razdagath broke in, and she's trying to free her fellow Incarnates of the Primalists, which are the big dragons of each element.
Now that's something that I really don't understand. So the dragons saw the Titans. I guess maybe they didn't know that the Titans put away the old gods in different facilities across the continents. But why did they stack all of the Incarnates in one area? That's super dangerous. You're asking for a Gotham City prison break, basically.
They probably were just really confident. They thought that, they probably thought that, they being the Titans, were we made these better dragons, and we put them in charge, so our better dragons will make sure that the lesser dragons are unable to escape.
Lesser dragons. That's honestly really what it's feeling like. And the Primalists and the Incarnates and all of these people, they still really have not really given us a reason to hate them other than they're trying to kill us. Everything you're saying seems right. They're being disrespected.
Razdagath did say something. Actually, you know what? I was about to say, she did say a speech about how she's going to blow up the world, but her big thing is really just shame on you flesh dragons for worshiping the Titans. That's really it. And then Alex Straza's just but the Titans are great guys. I'm a great lady. Help us, champion. I'm scared.
Yeah, that's something that I've been waiting for. We haven't gotten a draconic explanation of why they agreed to work with the Titans over the people that were saying don't work with the Titans, right? Obviously, there was a schism where some dragons were no, we can't do this. We have to say we're pure dragons. We don't need some freaky magic empowerments. What did that look like as that conversation happened? Or did they just say, fuck it, we're going to do it. Fuck y'all. We're not asking any opinions here.
I think we're seeing the conversation right now because basically some of the dragons started sipping on that Titan magic, slurping on, slipping on that Titan magic, and then the ones were ooh, no, we are straight edge. They have X's on their hands. They're no, we're not going to drink the Titan juice.
That's really what it boils down to, I guess. The straight edge community of the dragons are we're going to kill y'all for fucking with us. Which is kind of on brand. Yeah, so for opening, I went into this, once again, with very little preparation, other than playing that fun little flash game you can play with the pineapples. So, can you only, what is the order of bosses you can do? I just walk in and I follow wherever the things are dying.
It really is. So, I think you walk in and Ernagog is the first boss. He is you must fight him. But upon vanquishing him, 4 paths open up, and I think you can really do any of them. There's no established order. I've noticed most people have been following our lead and fighting the Council of 4 next. That path seems to be the easiest one.
Yeah, so after, Aranog is, the first boss that you have to face first.
I don't remember any. Usually we're like, well, let's talk about the guy
what
a
did he
bit.
do?
I don't remember anything. And I know I feel bad because not him, but that exact same model comes back as just an ad in the Razagath fight. So I'm like, damn, we're just fighting like a Fel guard. That's all this guy is a Fel guard.
He's the Ner'zhul fight guy where you have to kill one of the elementals in the fire line to break the fire line. Otherwise, you get clotheslined by it. That's who he is.
A big thing he'll do is not even him. He'll just be like, it's time for help. And 4 guys will come in and like try and jump you. But it's like, that's not even Nagog. What are you doing, buddy?
It was pretty neat, though, that like once you break one of them, go through, the other ones still continue to go in. And Aaron, as you pointed out during the raid night, they all go in there, they're at the center of the room, they just do a little dance, and then they die.
I was curious, Aaron, if this boss has given you any thought into changing your name to Aaron Nog. You just add that Nog to the end.
My legal name?
Yeah, like your legal, or just like your media branded name. Hey, it's me, Aaron Nog, Fire Mage Extraordinaire and Horse Punching Bag.
He's not a mage. I would say he's more of a shaman, but he is definitely a fire one. But, I don't want that heat. I don't want people to think that any time that I see a cool crystal, I just rub it a bunch before a big fire dragon shoots me down a long hallway. That was, by the way, we never touched upon that. That was a funny cutscene. Because the elemental, after he like betrays all his people, he's like, turn me into a fire guy. And the fire dragon does it, but he can't enter the building, so he beans him like 20 feet away, and he goes, thanks, now I'm a big cinder man.
You gotta make use of what you got.
But now he's nothing, because we killed him, and then moved on to the waiting room.
Well, I also forgot that, like, this very start of the raid, like, you can choose dragons and fly around, and, like you bombard all of these ads.
Okay, wait a minute. Yes, what was that? Because there was also like a world quest timer at the top that said you have 1 minute and 17 seconds left. And I'm like, is this what we're doing now? Or is that something else happening in this raid that I didn't know about?
I think you can just... Well, actually, yeah, I don't really know, because it's not like you can make the dragons move slower or faster. You could have just said, like, you do 2 loops and that's it. But maybe they didn't want people... They didn't want people to be confused and be like, why didn't it stop after 2 loops? So they had to add the timer.
Yeah, I think it's just a thing where you have a set amount of time to kill as many ads as you can, or else you have to fight them, or whatever weakened versions of them, on your way to the first boss, Aranog. It's kind of like that one older dungeon.
Toldagor. Everyone kept yelling, Toldagor.
Yeah,
Toldagor.
everybody. I love that Sue said it 3 times, and then people kept saying, oh, it's that one in Cataclysm. And he's like, I said it already. Because people kept saying it. But also... The minute I got on my dragon, the timer was at 1 minute, 17 seconds. Is it supposed to be that short? Like, and also, my attacks, your individual attacks of the thing feel like they do nothing. And I get it. We're in a raid, the damage stacks up. But, like, it feels like a worse version of Toldagor, damage-wise. But aesthetically-wise, I think it's cool as shit. Just to have something like that that's different.
I don't know why 30 dragons constantly bombarding a guy takes a minute and a half to drop, like... Something that has like 100k health, but oh well.
But I guess real quickly about Aranog, is he the one that was like turned into a fire dude, or he's part of like the storyline of the Veldraken like commanders?
Yeah, he was the guy who was like, I accept your flame, and he like ate it in like top of a tower.
Yeah, you meet a 4-legged Draconid, and he's like, oh, my guys got fucked. We gotta look for Commander Nagog. He surely knows what's going on. And then you see him rubbing the one ring as he's like, I killed all my guys. Turn me into a crackle boy.
But yeah, we killed him on the first pull, right? Like I believe we just one-shot him.
Some people beefed it, but we got him in one.
I think I was dead for that. I think I was dead for the first 2 bosses we killed. It's really weird being ranged in a raid. I haven't been raid ranged since... my
BFA
seriously
when you
raid
were
ranged. Yeah,
when
my
you
frost
were a mage.
I did a little warlock in alt raids, but alt raids I don't count that. So
I will say though, I'm very happy to announce that before the raid, I had my 2 sparks, and I was like, do I use these 2 sparks to create a bow? Because I had like a 330 something bow, and I was like, I need something better than this. But I was like, no, I'll wait for raid to see if I can get an upgrade in there before I waste my sparks. And Aranog dropped a crossbow. And, I'm the only hunter on our team, so Oh, also, we should talk about the.
Well, first, but before we get into what's coming next, I do want to congratulate you on this fucking bow, because this man has been at the center of bow controversy all of Shadowlands. Not a single Sylvanas bow, not a single, like, honestly, any bow has dropped for you, and now he's got like 5 in his hands.
I remember finishing Forte took you months to locate. You had to run so many Mythic Pluses.
I forget, like, whatever one was from the one broker dungeon, whichever one was from Streets, which was the best one. I ran that like 30 times back to back over the course of like several weeks just to try to get that bow, and it just never dropped.
You know what I realized? We probably should clarify what we're playing. So, like, because like, obviously Aaron's on a fire mage, right? Everyone knows that. I am on my Evoker Devastation as a main, and Pharaoh Druid as an alt, and Immune is a Holy Priest main, but you are a Hunter alt. Or is it switched? Who knows?
Honestly, 2 mains. But in Uno Mas in our guild, I have been raiding with the Hunter. I am really happy with it. I like raiding DPS, honestly, especially range DPS. And it's nice to not have to worry about healing all the time. I mean, we actually have a lot of healers, too, so...
This is a group you probably are going to have fun healing historically. Okay, but so the funniest thing about that bow, you were the only hunter in our group, but you waited the longest to receive your item because of how they changed raid loot, which I forgot about until I was presented with 5 items. And I'm like, I got to roll need, roll greed, and pass. And I immediately was shot back to like 2016 or whenever we started playing WoW, and we were in that dungeon, and I needed everything, and I got yelled at, and I was like, what do I press?
Yeah, so that system was back, and I believe it just won't even let you press need on something that you cannot use.
Yeah, if you're a mage and a plate helm shows up, you can greet it. That's the best you can do.
Yeah, so I believe I was the only person that could press need on this bow, and I think it waits for everyone to respond to everything before it starts divvying it out and showing like what the roles were for each thing. But it's kind of hard to keep track of because then this is all happening while you're fighting trash after the boss, and then everyone else got their loot, and then I was like, well, where's my bow? It just wasn't there until we were pulling up to the second boss.
Yeah, so like for those that don't know, this guild is a pretty super casual guild for the most part. Always AOTC, but we have a lot of older people. We have a lot of people who are just slow at mechanics and, you know, overall just slow. So like waiting for the last piece of loot to get sorted, everyone's like, where is it? Like, who didn't roll? And I'm also like, who the fuck? Like, did someone walk away from the computer? Like, how is this bow still not rolled for? It's been like 5 minutes since it dropped.
I think I have a little bit of a theory.
I also feel like not only do we have older people who like don't know where the greed button is, but we also have like a small division of tryhards. So it's like, let me put it in the blood mallet and calculate. And it's like, please just hit the button. I want to know who gets the magic stone, please.
Because the thing is, like, once the gear is divvied out, even if you get something, then you can sim it, and then if it's not good, then you can, like, hand it off to somebody else and, like, figure that out then. But, like, because I believe that's what Persephone did at some point.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised there's not, like, a separate UI pop-up that is just, like in the corner of my screen, like, here's what everybody rolled, here's what everybody got, like, here's all the rolls. Didn't that used to be a thing? I remember being able to see who rolled, but I think I had to find that info myself. But it's been so long, I forgot how to do it.
And also, like, it seemed like now it was all buried in a bunch of, like, X person looted all these things from all the trash that we, like, picked up, or, like, dialogue that was happening on our way to the next boss. So I'm like, who didn't roll? Like, what did I even roll? Did I get this thing? Did I not get this thing? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm hoping I'm missing something, or there'll be an add-on or something to help me figure out, see what the fuck's going on in this sheet. But I think, Aaron, I agree with you. And, like, there were a lot of things that I could have rolled for, that I did roll for, that I didn't win. But I just feel like the system is just feels a lot less fun than personal loot for what our rate is. You know what I mean? I don't know.
My big thing is I'm just sitting there, like, not tense. Like, it's like life or death if I get the magic staff. But it's like, I kind of like to know. Like, it was immediate gratification back in the day to be like, oh, I got something. Or like, beans. Maybe I can spam honors and ask if he truly needs his mace. Now I have to sit there and I have to think, and I have to check the chat because it doesn't make a big announcement. It's just tiny in the chat, like, Persephone got the bow. So then I have to spam her and then be like, hey, do you need that?
Yeah, so, well, she needed it, so yeah, she probably needs it. But I totally see what you're saying in that, like, it's like, yeah, you know if you got it or you didn't. In this one, you're like, you have to check each separate note, and you're disappointed 5 times in a row, and you see you can't wear any of that shit. I hope that they go back to just making them options, honestly, because some people really like the system of loot, and the system of loot does work for some raid groups, but it does not work for ours, I will say. I don't think.
I'm just glad that nobody suggested it and that it's probably not going to be a thing like ever again with fucking Loot Council.
I hated Loot Council so fucking much because people, and I love Bear, but Bear was in charge of Loot Council and he fucking would like not even read the chat. People would be like, oh no, I don't have anything. Here's my gear, and he'd be like, all right, we're gonna give it to this person, and I'm like, no, the guy is like, I level 400. Don't give it to him. He doesn't need it.
Also knowing that, like, now we, like, Slide and I would probably have to be on a council if we had one.
Yeah, I mean, like, we would be fair. I think we would be absolutely fair, but I don't want to be that person who's, like, doling judgment on who receives what.
I don't know how this show would have gone if you two were on the council and you denied me a staff. There'd be a lot of real personal feelings coming out that Thursday after raid.
You know, like, I'm just glad that was never a thing because, like, I don't want to, like, have Aaron sending me pictures of his staff to get a staff in raid, you know?
It's not very impressive, but neither is the staff's eye level. So then, yeah, we moved on to the next boss, and it was just, I don't know, this is my big grievance so far. And I know the Primalist forces are pretty much just dragons that look like they're made out of rocks and, like, people. There's a lot of people in this one. Just a lot of, like, this is a night elf who's huge. This is a high elf who put herself in a tornado. It's like, oh man.
Well, yeah, so the boss that we're talking about now is called the Primal Council, and there's, like, 4 of them, like, one for each of the 4 primal elements.
I actually really like that there are a lot of non-dragon people within like the Primalist forces because, again, like I said earlier, the Primalists' messages, honestly, it's kind of convincing. We've been wronged. We were the original dragons. We didn't have a say. Fight for us, and we'll bring you prosperity. And like, I think people could like actually get. I mean, I'm kind of behind that. Like, maybe I kill Alex Straza. I don't know. Like. Like, are they wrong? I don't know.
All I know is they're an equal opportunity hirer because there was a furbolg made out of rocks, and they got a spot at the table. So I enjoy that.
Yeah, because you did the Tuskar storyline. That was a whole thing. Like one furbolg leader literally sold out his entire tribe
no way.
To become
Shit.
rock elementalist.
I have bad media literacy. I didn't know it was that guy.
Oh no, we killed that guy. He's dead, I think. But like, it's just like you can see, like it just shows like
one of them like, did it again.
People like the message was so convincing that furbolgs are turning against each other to quote unquote protect the tribe, and they're joining the elementals because it's power, and to them, power is protection. It's kind of an interesting, almost a little bit too U.S. politic like adjacent. Like it kind of feels too real, honestly.
That's the thing. I feel like we said it like in our last few episodes, but just in general, the storylines that are presented in Dragonflight feel down to earth, where it's like not only are these things very much so believable within the context of Azeroth, but like they're kind of believable like in a sense on like our real world too. It's like sure, like we can't sell our souls for like elemental power, but like you know, people sell their souls for like other types of power.
Yeah,
like $99 NFTs. I want the astronaut one.
The Shopper Image is one of my favorite
Let's not give that man any more time here. But back to the Primal Council fight.
Yeah, it's funny because all 4 of them are like throwing spells and doing stuff, but really all you need to focus on is the Night Elf man who does frost and the Furbolg made out of rocks. Miss Wind and Mr. Fire aren't doing too much, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Not on normal, which is what we're on right now, which I think most people are actually on normal, because I was hearing that heroic is actually pretty hard to just go into right off the bat.
Yeah, and I actually think like the first heroic Razageth kill just happened earlier today or yesterday.
I think it was earlier yesterday. I think there's only 2 mythic boss kills. I mean, and I say only 2. This is like, what, an 8 boss raid? So, like, it's a pretty small raid compared to what we're used to, I feel like, in Shadowlands, right? Like, what was our smallest Shadowlands raid? Was it Nathria? At, like, 11? 10?
They were all 10 plus, correct?
Yeah, it's 12 for Deceptive. I'll have to dig that one up. I think 11 for Sanctum, and yeah, it must have just been 11 or 10 for Nathria.
So, like, this is a pretty small raid in comparison. And, like, we had some people getting a little bit too upset about our progress with this raid. I'm like, guys, we killed 3 raid bosses. I haven't even discussed the 3rd raid boss yet. And people were like, why aren't we killing this? And I'm like, yo, you guys gotta chill. Like,
I'm not saying I'm indicative of anything, but like, I and probably a lot of people have blue gear still. Like, some people might even still have a green. Like,
the fact that we killed the second boss enough on week 1 is actually insane. I'm pretty sure in Shadowlands we only killed the first boss for the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, honestly, like, back to our Phoenix Fusion days, definitely our Unomas days, our team, Unomas in particular, historically. If you told me that we're 3 out of 8 normal at the end of the first week of raid, especially the first raid, because, like, we have the least gear at the beginning of an expansion, because, like, you know, going into a second tier, we'll have, like, built up, like, Mythic Plus gear and stuff like that. So, like, this is the least gear we will be. So it's the hardest, I think.
Yeah, basically, this is a formal request to anybody in the DN army. Request who's in the guild. Just smoke a little weed before raid. Just chill out, Darethal, because like this guild, we will not kill Razageth. I said it earlier, for maybe a month, and I'm gonna honestly, a month plus is probably really what we're looking at. People are gonna die to stupid shit. People are going to run circles over everybody. That's what this guild does and what this guild always has done. But we will get AOTC if you have the fortitude to stick with it. And let me tell you, the fortitude is no fucking joke.
But yeah, we have fortitude now. Lynn is on his priest.
Yeah, that's a big Unomas miracle. At this moment, we have at least one of every single type of person. Will people drop out and we'll lose them? Yeah, but at least Lynn's on his priest.
I also think our raid size, we're not used to having a raid size this big. And we have a lot more pumpers because so the other group, Kata's group, so we have 2 raid groups in our guild. And the other group only has 13 people at maximum. Ours has 23 people because they changed their raid time. So no, everything is so shifted and so like different and weird, but we both progged the exact same amount of bosses. We each killed 3 and the same 3. Which, wait, who's the 3rd boss again? We should probably talk about that boss.
Yeah, so we defeated the Primal Council, and then I believe on the first night, then after that, we started going to Windy Boss, Dathia the Ascended. She's like actually the one that escapes from the end of the Primal Council fight. She's the end of that wing. So like that's one option.
I love this fight because at the very beginning of the fight, she's kneeling in the center and she's like, my siblings are all dead. And I turned to Immune and I said, who is she? And right as I said that, Aaron, you on voice chat said, who is this stranger? And Lynn was like, we just fought her in the last fight. And I was like, oh shit, I'm glad I didn't say anything openly.
Well, like I said, to do the mechanics in normal, you fight Rock Bear and you fight Freezy Man. I was not paying attention to Miss Windy, but I definitely am now because, spoilers, she was kicking our ass.
I love that. I like, off of my own personal experience of raiding in Worlds of Draenor, how many raid bosses get like a second appearance like right after the first time? Probably not very many, if not like probably like 1 or 2 out there, but it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I also thought it was cool. Also, I don't know if it's just this fight or if there's other instances. a lot of the guides that were out there for like normal even were incorrect. Like all the normal guides I saw for this fight involved us having to use the knockbacks from the ads to go to the other platforms and kill ads over there and then come back. I believe it's just a heroic thing now, but like the fight was different than what we expected.
Oh yeah, and like also like I think our tanks are like they have never worked together either, and that was part of our problem on the Wind boss as well. Was that like the coordination of them is so green and so new. And Minnie, I love Minnie, but sometimes Minnie, you're tanking. Minnie didn't know that demon hunters can stop their momentum with the double jump wing, like to glide. And I was like, Minnie, I was telling him, Minnie, you have to double jump. And he was ignoring my whispers. And so then he said it in Discord, and I'm like, all right, well, this is where Minnie gets publicly blasted by 20 people because he didn't know Demon Hunter Glide broke knockbacks. I can't help him here.
Like, I'm sorry, my dude, but like, isn't that their main thing?
Yeah, and to his defense, he does play every single tank in the game, so he's a jack of all trades in that he plays all of them, but he doesn't know how to play them all well. He just has them because he has so many. He's splitting his time across too many characters, I think.
But good on him because we get a DH buff here. Anyways, we did not clear this boss. We got kind of close, down to like maybe like 30-something%. But then at the start of the second raid night, we're like, let's go over to the other wing. And then the first one over there is Taros, because everyone said that was easier. It's okay. Aaron, what do you want to give the official DNR verdict of what type of boss this is?
Yes.
I am sitting here a little saddened. It's a mixed bag because, yes, everyone, Dragonflight has its very first nippler, and
now,
it is
for those that don't know,
Taros.
What's a nippler? Because we have a lot of new listeners running around town, so they might need to hear what a nippler is.
That's true. A nippler is a boss where you only fight their torso up. Typically, they have more humanoid torsos, and you just punch them in the stomach and the nipples. Now, the stipulation here, though, is in an earlier episode, Slidewhistle stated that a true nippler, a nippler prime, if you will, nippler with 3 gold stars next to it, you can only go left to right. You only see the front of the boss. Think Garathi Worldbreaker or Ragnaros in the Firelands. Taros, unfortunately, is in a big circular arena, which makes him a proto-nippler.
Let me tell you, and what makes them a nippler is that if you can see their ass crack from the back, a proto-nippler. And I had to run around this motherfucker by accident. Complete accident. And I'm running around and I was like, there it is. There's his fucking asshole. I know good and well he's not a true nippler.
Much like Mandy Rose, you could see his butthole.
It's just, I'm a little sad. I kind of wanted them to, well, one, I wanted a nippler in any of the dungeons. Exactly 0. But I wanted them to knock down the door, kick down the gate with a real nippler. But I'll settle for a proto.
We got to take the crumbs where we can get them, because I feel like we grew up in a really nippler-heavy experience, and it just has become less and less as the game has gone on, unfortunately.
Yeah, we had like a nippler once a time, right?
Legion BFA, they were nippler heavy. Nipples were raining down from the sky. But alas, Shadowlands, I think we had 2, and now we're just with the 1.
And we killed this guy because he was way easier than the Wind boss for us.
Still got kind of scary, though. It seems like it's definitely a DPS check, but also kind of an HPS check.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I mean, like, again, nobody's geared in our group. Like, there's a bunch of us that do Mythic Plus, but there's a bunch of us that don't. And so we're just kind of half and half, and, you know, we're gonna fucking get there. So chill the fuck out.
But that was where we drew our raiding experiences to a close. So, I don't know, there are people who were like, this is a big stinker dungeon, or raid. It's fine.
It's
if anything,
fine.
It doesn't waste your time, I can tell you that. There have been plenty of raids where it's like, you gotta really hoof it. You gotta really kill a lot of guys. I feel like we go through maybe 4 packs, other than the very first one, but that is designed to be long because you can kill a quarter of it. But other than that first hallway, you're really not killing too many mobs before you go boss to boss.
Yeah, and overall, so far, I think I like the vibes of the raid. Aesthetically, I like it. After Taros, though, unfortunately, if going down that wing, there is something that I think will be very hard for us awaiting us. And I'm talking Sinarth, and it is a spider boss with platforming up and down stairs and stuff.
And
I'm not
slippery
happy.
floors.
I'm
An
not
icy
happy.
platforming spider.
This immediately shot us back to Legion. The spider boss. Wait, what is his character's name? This raid person?
It's
Sinarth.
Was the spider? What was the spider's name?
It was
Elioth something?
Elioth. Hold on. I'll find it and scream it.
Yeah, we on that druid spider boss. Start choking on pepper flakes here. On the druid spider boss, I think probably like 15 of our like 25 raiders would fall off of the bridge, would fall off of anything at any given moment. We would end up at the third platform with 6 people alive, and we would hope we could maybe kill it after 10 minutes before Enrage hit. And we hit Enrage every single time.
And for those keeping track at home, her name was Elarith Renfarrell.
That's also the fight where the Gilby, who I didn't know at the time, was offering to sell boob pics to the loot council for loot. So it all comes back to the loot council.
Yeah, so that was the reference that I made earlier for newer listeners.
What a time.
Speaking of time, it's time. Growlina, give me a break so I can grab another Atwater Dirty Blonde.
Ooh, you fancy today.
Ooh, Cubby Bub provides. Hey, everybody. It's Shapely Growlina. I'm here spending my time in the Azure Span, particularly with my soup-stirring pal, Oshan. Osh, what do you think this particular soup tastes like? Well, we're throwing a lot of fish in there, so that would be my main answer. Just proper stinky with them boys. You know what we're also putting in there? Our shoes. Our nasty, blood-soaked, mud-caked shoes. LMAO! And you're putting your bare feet in there. We're really fucking it up when it comes to food preparation, and yet they still eat it. I guess when times are tough and no dragons are around to help you, you gotta get used to eating soup that's just a mackerel and some shoe dirt. I don't know about you, but that sounds delicious after all that shit we had to eat in the Shadowlands. You're right, Ash. As nasty as we're all making this soup, at least we're not adding in monster pus or ghost farts. Speaking of ghost farts, let's see what the boys are gonna blow out their asses in this part 2 of the show. Thanks, Growl. That was a worthwhile exchange of information. God, if there was only somewhere else where I could trade other things.
Well, luckily for you, in 10.0.5, which I don't believe we have a date for yet, but earlier today we got a blue post from Blizzard with information about what will be included in there, and one is something much like what you're asking for.
Okay, first of all, the fact that 10.5 info dropped 4 minutes before recording is insane. But also, why did it drop so soon? Is this really soon for a 0.5?
Yeah, I was about to say, it
Oh.
seems weird we've just unlocked, like, the first new bit of information. Like, Primal Storms showed up for the first time ever, and they're like, anyways, after that.
There's just a lot going on. And, I mean, I'm here for it. I think it's great, but I'm just like, oh my god, there's so much content and info coming my way. But back to the Trader's Post. So this is interesting. When I was doing the alpha and the beta, I saw these two structures. Remember? I saw these in the capital city of Stormwind. It was where I thought that the dragon riding mounts would be for the water and the posts and stuff.
Yeah, everyone was seeing this in beta, alpha, or whatever, whenever the fuck they added it. And they were like, oh, there's these weird stable-looking things that are in Stormwind and Orgrimmar. Like, what are they gonna be? Like, yeah, people thought, like, dragon riding or, like, some mount-related thing.
They kept the shit on, I had a lid on it for so long. This encryption stuff that they have going on is working. There's so much info that we do not have access to in the files, and I'm so excited for it. But anyway, I'll read the official WoW post for the trading post. A new set of traders will be moving their wares into the capital cities of Stormwind and Orgrimmar. T&W, Tawny and Wilder, and Zenshiri trading posts. Okay? You will find T&W just outside the Mage District in Stormwind and the Zenshiri trading post next to Grommash Hold in Orgrimmar. Our trader friends have pulled out all the shops, all the stops, and set up their shop so you can view the new items of the month prominently on display right at their shop. They'll have transmogs and on mannequins, pets at their feet, and mounts cured in their stable. Speak to the trader to see this month's wares.
So we were joking about, like, what a WoW battle pass would be. This isn't a battle pass, but, like, it's kinda a little bit.
It's tough. It's this new form of battle pass where it is monthly or, like, weekly content, daily content, monthly content that you can see and, like, earn little in-game coiny coins to earn. But I'm desperately reading it here. I don't think you pay United States currency for it.
Correct, you don't. You use in-game coins to purchase purchase from their monthly selection of wares. But Slide, how do you get these coins?
Oh, I was worried you'd never ask.
It's almost like there's an area called How It Works.
Yeah, okay, so how it works. To obtain these unique cosmetic items, you need to acquire a new account-wide currency called Trader's Tender, aka, come on, we're calling it tendies. Everyone knows we're calling them tendies. What are you doing?
I was a little worried that we weren't going to get new currency in the game.
We were a little lacking. You know, the little turn-ins per each group in Dragonflight just wasn't enough.
So you can earn tendies in 2 ways. 1, automatically each month. Just by logging in and heading to the trading post, you can collect 500 Trader's Tendies every month from a chest called the Collector's Cache. 2, by completing monthly activities in the Traveler's Log, aka your free battle pass. A monthly set of activities provides the opportunity to earn up to an additional 500 tendies, which means this will probably not be easy, I'm going to guess. Some of the items in here, so they have an image linked. At the very top of the list for the current month is the Celestial Steed from the Mount Shop for 900 tendies. And this mount costs, what, 10 to 15 USD dollars, if I'm correct? If it's not a sale. They have a bunch of other shit on here. And I will say, I give you, John Haidt, of World of Warcraft team leader, full permission to use the Dark Portal Hearthstone in this list because I think this idea is so fucking cool.
You're willing to give up your one ace in the hole just to support the traders system?
I have multiple aces in the hole, first of all, fucker. So it's one of my many aces in the hole.
You'll never take away the name bisexual from me.
In case you didn't know, Slidewhistle has many achievements, collectibles, and he's rich in game, so...
This is a great promo. Keep it coming.
I refuse.
Boo! You stink!
But also because I know it's coming. They're gonna take it. But like, if it's in this system, I'm 100% cool with that. Making that shit a Twitch drop is offensive. Making it like this, where you have to, like, quote unquote earn it, it's not really, you know what I mean? Like, it's super easy to get, but it's actually not. You have to kind of work for this thing. And because they said the trading post will serve as a home for many more items across Azeroth and beyond, and is not limited by the current game content. You can expect to see a variety of fun new items to add to your collection. They 100% are going to be adding in the TCG unobtainables, which I think now that this has been flagged 100%, people know it's coming. It's fine. It's okay. Everybody with the mounts and shit now knows that their shit is going to be devalued. So we're good. We are good.
So, like, first off, I want to say, like, it looks like you'll have to make a choice every month because it sounds like you'll only be able to earn 1,000 tendies per month. And, like, as Slide said, the top build items are almost the entirety of that. You might be able to mix and match some of the lower things because some of the cheaper things are only, like, 100 to, like, 500 down the list. But overall, I think this is a great addition. I think any addition to the game that provides more ways to play the game, especially for like more casual people that don't do like Raid or Mythic Plus or PvP. This is a whole nother aspect of the game. I don't know how long these monthly air quotes quests will be to get their tendies, but like it gives people something else to do, which I assume it's not going to be like air quotes difficult like raiding. It'll just probably be like some other kind of questing or something.
No, yeah, this is a really good system, and they said that they were looking at ways to make players that don't do PvE and PvP content more engaged. Obviously, they want your money. Obviously, they want to find how you're gonna play the game more. This is a fantastic way of doing it. Oh, I scrolled down and I even read monthly rotation. On the first of the month, the traders will obtain new items and update the activities in the Traveler's Log for the new month. That's cool. Items that are rotated out of the inventory won't be gone for good. They'll rotate back in future months. The trading post will also include cosmetics from promotions that are no longer available, as well as items normally available for cash purchase on the in-game store, with tendies instead. She's leaving me, folks. She's going, but at least I know that not every Dick, Mary, and Sue will get their hands on the Dark Portal Hearthstone because some of them are going to be stingy with their tendies.
I don't know why you gotta bring Dick, Mary, and Sue into this.
I hate Dick, Mary, and Sue.
Yo, I'm trying to Dick, Mary, and Sue.
Feel me? My favorite is the disclaimer at the bottom with a little star. The trading post is not available in WoW Classic. Oh, you think? Who the fuck was like, oh boy, finally, Classic getting the trading post I've been asking for years?
I mean, it must be tough because I know there is someone who's like, I hate modern WoW. Wrath was all there ever should be. But then also they do see like a mop mount and they're like, ah. Beans, that would be great to have that.
Oh my god. Guys, I missed this. They have a picture of 4 quests that you could potentially do for your Traveler's Log. For 50 tendies, you can imbibe Zanzil's slow poison. Drink poison and get 50 points. You can resurrect players. Aaron, great news for you as a mage. You can show love to fallen dragons. And you can show some love to the dragon aspects. All for 50 tendies. Does that mean like I'm kissing Alex Raza? Like what is?
Wait, you're telling me they're gonna pay me to make out with Dami Mommy?
They're gonna pay you to res us.
Very, very DNR friendly. There's a lot of smooching going down to earn some tenders.
But yeah, there's like in this Traveler's Log, there's like a progress bar at the top with all these different categories of quests. The ones that Slide listed were under the other category. But there's categories which I assume have other quests that are just titled Dragonflight, Dungeons and Raids, Holidays and Events, Pet Battles, Professions, PvP, and Quests. So it seems like there's going to be a variety of ways to get your points. It looks like the max points are 1,000, and these ones that Slide listed were worth 50 points. So I think you need 1,000 points to get your 500 tendies, it looks like.
Yeah, it seems like a tall order, but like if you're playing every day like we are, I think we'll get this easy. Like I don't think, and like at the end of the day, it's awesome just to have like an extra thing to like work towards. I want as many things as possible, as crazy as that sounds. So I could, you can't be good at everything. You got to be good at some things.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've been fully and thoroughly overwhelmed with all the new shit that we've had so far in these first few weeks of Dragonflight, but that's a really good problem to have, you know?
Yeah, you know what? Let's get a little DNR classic ourselves as I do a little shimmy here. What you guys doing WoW this week? Right at the 48-minute mark, baby. Aaron, what about you? What was your week like this week?
Beans. Well, it's officially that time. I'm doing my duties as far as continuing the story, but I'm also just really diving into You know,
Pet
the
battling.
world quests, yeah, pet battling. I did do one pet battle. The little fucking, you want to fly a kite? Roby
Dude, he fucked me up, and
Yeah,
I was
he
trying
absolutely
super hard.
He destroyed my team, and I was like, I'm not doing that. And then I don't know if it's part of. Well, it's not part of a thing because I got Lore Master for Dragonflight, but it still marks his quest as like, you really should be doing that one. I was like, I can't get hurt again. But anyways, I've been doing world quests and I've been doing war mode. You called me out on stream, so I hopped back in it. And boy, oh boy, I'm still getting my little tushy kicked, but it's fun.
Did you pick up your Against Overwhelming Odds quest this week?
Yes, you. It's not called Against Overwhelming Odds, correct? It's
No,
called
it is.
something else. Is it? Did Malika give it to you? Because all she wants me to do.
You mean this week's sexiest NPC of the week, Militia.
Ooh, she's so spicy, and the spiciest part of her is, does she have a quest I can't get? She keeps asking me to go to, like, do skirmishes, and I don't want to do that.
Also, fun fact, I was the first person that mentioned PvP. I was going to try to just make Militia the sexiest immediately, no matter what time it was at. But, so she has 3 quests this week. She has Against Overwhelming Odds, she has Do Epic Battlegrounds, and she has Solo Shuffle. She's inside the Gladiators Sanctum. Actually,
I've seen her. I've met the woman, and boy, oh boy, it's hard to like have an informational conversation and also be like, "Ooh, I love a mommy who's super sassy, ooh, and kind of a snitch. I don't like that." Someone's doing too well, and she's like, "Go get him."
She wants the drama because she knows that drama is hot right now because she's sexy as fuck.
And, you know, we've used this reason, I've probably used this reason several times in our conversations for sexiest NPCs of the week, but, like, anybody that tells me that it's my duty to go and kick some horde ass, that's very hot, you know? And she's gonna reward me. Also, she's handing out all these bloody tokens. That's kind of spooky.
Also, like, okay, think about our historical sexiest NPCs of the week. Lady in the Fight House in BFA, Grand Marshal Tremblade, a name I'll never forget. So fucking hot. The Scaly in the Gladiator Sanctuary, so fucking hot for the same fucking reasons. She wants us to fight for our man and country, and she's a Drakthir who is like, I just met y'all both, kill each other. I respect it.
And you know she's always watching because she, like, you know, I turned war mode on for the first time this week as well. Like, literally, this bitch is always talking to me. Like, wherever I am, she's like, go kill this guy. This guy's getting a little too big for his britches. And I know that if I did kill that guy and I killed a few other hordes, she'd be doing the same thing to some hordes to tell them to come my way. So, like, basically, the tension's always on me. She's, like, really giving to the community here.
It'll be 2 a.m. I'll be sitting fishing at a fishing hole, and she'll whisper softly in my ear, supplies are dropping. Don't you wanna, what do they say? Fight for survival. And I'm like, immediate calm. I will do anything for you, Militia. I'm flying to that crate.
So I'm looking at her here, and it's a little embarrassing to admit. I thought this woman was nude the whole time. And I must have just really loved that thought of her just being.
Oh my god, you're gonna ruin this for me.
Scales.
She's hot.
She has like armor and stuff, and surely she only has the one model. But when she talks to you in the little talking window, you can't see nothing. She's showing you tasty reptilian clavicle.
I've seen her in the Dragonflight Fight House, and I also thought she looked kind of Slidewhistle-ish, where she's naked. She's not wearing those shoulders. Is that what the Horde see her wearing?
Where is this? Also, where is she? Because this background doesn't even look like her house that she's in.
Is this shit bugged? Do you think she's actually naked inside of the sanctuary and no one's noticed that she's supposed to be wearing all these clothes?
Because, like, my dudes, I just opened up her Wikipedia page. She has a full set of armor. She's, like, probably the most clothed Drakthir I've ever seen.
That is not what she looks like. I swear to God, I've never seen her have anything on her shoulders inside of that gladiator's refuge. She looks naked. Like when Aaron said, I thought she was all nude. I was like, yeah, she is all nude. It must be a visual glitch that we see her naked. And that's why Militia is our sexiest NPC of the week, projecting her naked body into our eyes' mind.
Ooh, if only I could get Militia and Emberthal in there, it'd be 2 scoops of black dragon goodness.
Wait,
Mark Stormwind on the Kinks map as Black Dragon.
so did you end up doing anything else this week? Like, how was your warm mode? Like have you bought warm mode gear with tokens?
I'm all sweaty now. You're gonna ask me to go back to work? Yes, and I found an amazing place. I don't know if it will be the new Nazjatar Bridge, but there was a world quest today that's like, go grab frogs and bring them to me, or punch guys.
Bro.
And people all stood on this one outcropping on the top, and they were just punching each other. Like, I only finished it because I would throw meteors in there, and like eventually people would die. I'm just like, this is great. I love just an all-out bar brawl.
I really do appreciate the quests where it's like, champion, collect these coins for me. I need 20 of these coins. Or, I don't fucking know, kill a bunch of people.
Why are they like that? Because, like, I was doing one that was wrangle proto-drakes or kill enemy players. And I'm like, these are not the same things. So then I would get there, and I actually hate these zones a lot. It's the only regret I have for playing the new class. When I land down, everybody is my enemy, both Alliance and Horde. But I will like mentally be like, okay, they're the Night Elves, they're the Dwarves. I don't want to hit them. I want to hit the Orcs and the Undead. So I target the Orcs and the Undead. But the Alliance just sees me as a dragon, and they see all dragons as being Horde, and the Horde see all dragons as being Alliance because I have a red tag.
Based on what I've done, I don't think our brethren are as nice as we typically are. Whenever I land there, the number one people kicking my ass are Night Elves.
Okay,
I think people are just haters.
I feel a little better now because I'm landing in a fight, and I'm like, I literally swoop the warrior away from the healer, and the healer is now mind gamesing me, and I'm like, I helped you. I'm trying to help you.
Unfortunately, I feel your pain here as a Pandaren main on my hunter. Because, like, I just know that even Alliance people, if given the chance in a non-PvP zone, would try to kill me just because they hate Pandaren. Like, everyone hates Pandaren.
Oh, it's so sad. I blame G Firepaw for that one.
No, I hate G Firepaw too, so I get it.
But I guess that's what I did. Immune, how about you? What have you been up to?
So far this week, I've been playing a lot on my hunter. Had to get him ready for raid. Because all of last week I like completely just didn't play on him, so I was a little bit behind, I felt like. I wasn't really, but you know what I mean. And I've been doing a lot of Mythic Plus, and I'm just excited to have Mythic Plus back in the pool of things I can do. I love a good Mythic Plus. I will say though that the pool of dungeons we have, they feel like they fucking hurt really bad. Like there's a lot of damage going out. I feel like once I step foot in one on my priest, it's gonna be, I'm gonna be like getting like hot and bothered, sweaty, like not in a good way, like I just did like a few minutes ago at Sexiest NPC, but like in a cold sweats in the middle of the night, like nightmare type way.
Yeah, on both of my characters, my Devastation Drekthir and my Feral Druid, I find myself off healing like crazy. I'm healing myself. I'm healing the healer because the damage is just so massive. And like if you make a little mistake on like a higher rated key, you're fucking luck, bud. Like you're dead.
And sure, a lot of it is that we don't have a whole lot of gear, and we're also learning a lot of these dungeons still. Like we had some time with the Dragonflight ones over the last few weeks, but as you know, once you get to like a higher key level, I'm talking even like a 5 or a 7, mechanics that you didn't even know existed in a 0 like start wiping your raid. So I feel like we've had struggles with that, but then also struggles of having to like relearn or learn for the first time some of these Pandaria and Legion and Draenor dungeons.
Yeah, part of it is that I'm so used to not having to respect Temple of the Jade Serpent. I'm like, why is Mari's a fucking joke? I will whoop his ass. And then, right, I have only done 2 temples, and you know what? Both times I ended up face down, killed by former Sex MC of the Week, Wise Mari, with his stupid magical wave. He kills me and it's a one-shot every single time. And I'm like, wow, I never paid you the dues you deserved.
And I have bad news. This week was fortified, so those waves are gonna even more so kill you.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to Wise Mari on Tyrannical. But like, as you said, it is a learning curve. It's just getting back in the grooves of like, what do I have to actually pay attention to?
But yeah, that was like my main thing. I also did a lot of work on my professions, on my priest. Enchanting feels really rough to level. I don't know if any of you listeners have any tips on that, like, or if I'm just like fucking up bad, but I feel like I'm always like out of knowledge, and I don't know how people have been able to like grind up some of these enchants to be able to be like gold quality, where I'm just struggling to make bronze and I'm out of mats and I have no more knowledge. It's kind of rough.
I have heard that enchanting is like one of the hardest ones to level, and even just like looking at your recipe list compared to mine as a leather worker, I'm like, I could pay 400k and probably level like 10 to 20 more points. You would have to pay like 2 million gold to get the same value out of it. Enchanting is nuts right now.
Well, yeah, because you know that like some of the enchants that you bought like on your Drakthir are like 20 to 30k a pop now. They're insane. I'm like, I wish I could be making profits off that, but like, I can't. First off, I can't make that. I can make like the lower version that no one wants to buy, and to make the lower version, I have to spend like more than that even.
Yeah, that's what I did in WoW. I spent a lot of gold on a lot of enchants, because whenever I go into a raid, I'm always under the mindset of, I'm gonna bring what I have the best, because I gotta help. We have a lot of slackers on the raid team, and so I will try to offset them the best that I can. These enchants were crazy. 1 bronze, the first level of a Sophic enchant, which is like the best DPS enchant for many people. 22k when I bought this before the raids open on Tuesday. I bought it on Monday. Then the raids open. On Wednesday, like a fool, I bought another one from my druid for his polearm. 27k. Now they are at 3 days later, 30k. The price of these things keeps going up instead of going down, because everyone needs these enchants, and the mats to make them cost an absolute batshit amount of money. I would be surprised if people making these enchants are actually losing money on selling them at 27k, which is crazy to think about.
And for them to even be able to make them and maybe to like break even or make a little bit of profit, they need to have put all of their talent points into just creating the Sophic enchant. And I didn't even go to weapon enchants at all. I was trying to go to like chests and rings, because I thought that would be useful, and I heard like on the wind that a few other enchanters in our guild were trying to do the weapon one, so I was like, I'll try to diversify a little here.
Also, I'm going to combine this with our top toot and bottom boot and medium moot.
Since we were already there.
Right,
anyways.
we're already there. I feel like we're basically already talking about it. I was like, oh, wait a minute. So, I am now, as of today, Tuskar rep level 17, which I feel like is pretty okay.
I saw you were the superstar, SOUP or star.
I'm actually the supervisor.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I fucked up the pun.
It's like 100 feast activities you do at the Great Tuskar Pod, or whatever the fuck it's called. I've done it so many times, and it's the big pot that Big Canuck puts on. Yeah, I'm 17. The fucking weekly this week gives you 1 whole renown for doing 10 world quests. That feels great. I hit 17. I'm 1 away from my goal. I want to hit 18 so I can make floral baskets. That's literally what the whole reason I was doing this was to make floral baskets.
The thing is, like, you say it like as if you're joking, but people are thirsty for those right now. The profession people, like, they're like kind of rare, and like people need them.
Also at 18, I can make upgraded crafting stuff, like a jewel crafter's smock or an upgraded alchemist hat, Aaron.
Ooh, I'll have to take advantage of that. I'm just fighting, scrapping in the streets. I feel like I'm always picking up flowers, but none of them are magic. And now you need magic rocks to make any potions, and I don't like it.
Oh, you need like the elemental, like the rousing or awakened elements and stuff?
You need several of the one that you need to combine 3 or 10 of. So it's essentially like, I'll make you a healing potion. 30 elemental wind, please.
Yeah, I've been farming that in my downtime. It's insane. Like it's I love it. There's so many different grinds you can do, and I like that. But Tuskar, top 2, I love those walrus boys. Like everyone, they're just so fun to interact with. They're just like, I love fishing, and here's what I'm like, okay, bitch, I love fishing too. I'll fish in lava for you. Let's go. I mean, what about you? What's your top 2? Bottom boot, medium boot?
Well, I already kind of was alluding that, like, I'm just going to rapid fire a few here. Professions, both a top 2 and a bottom boot to me. Like, I love that they're relevant and important and interesting, and I want to be able to do them well. I just feel like I'm fucking up and they're hard. I don't know, like, it's confusing, and guides out there don't make sense to me, and I'm like, do these guides even know what they're talking about? But that's a whole nother story. But I think my other medium moot I'm going to even it out to is the state of my hunter right now.
Oh, no.
I am mourning the loss of wild spirits. I'm honestly fucking mourning the loss of any cooldown. It feels like I don't have cooldowns. It feels like all of my abilities, my longest cooldown ability is like 40 seconds or whatever. I'm using Death Chakram now, which I never use in Shadowlands. I don't 100% know that I'm using it right. Basically, I feel like I'm doing okay, but I feel like I know I can be doing better. I feel like I need to like relearn my entire spec because it's completely different. And it just feels very constant. Like, there's no burst window. There's just constant damage, I guess, which is kind of what I guess it's always been. But Wild Spirits was a really nice burst window that I feel like I really knew how to use in Shadowlands. So I just really feel like there's growing pains here. So maybe it evens out to a medium move. I am happy. I like playing my Hunter. I just feel like I need to learn a little bit more still. But Aaron, what is your TTBBMM?
Well, I have myself a top 2 this week, and it's that I managed to get Dragonflight Lore Master. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Woo-hoo! And I did it while streaming twitch.tv/AaronDNR. If you watched me, you'd get a Cenarian Hatchling. I lied to everyone and was like, you can get your mount, because I didn't know that there was a pet beforehand. So sorry, didn't give you enough information to get your mount. Hopefully you went and watched someone else that weekend. And anyone who watched me play Overwatch 2 also got a Ramatra spray. That was another one where I was like, get your skin! Did not know that it was just a spray.
Well, you need to get the spray before you can even go on to the skin.
Yeah,
so,
that's true. Yeah, and then they have it time gated or something. I watched like 3 hours and then I checked and it was like, you can't actually get the skin yet. And I was like, what the fuck? That's why I came here. I just watched top 500 Kiriko. He was not that good. But it feels cool to have Lore Master, even though it's empty. I mean, I guess it's one step up if they do Dragonflight flying. Who knows? Maybe they'll just be like, those dragon riding mounts you got, those are good enough. Gosh dang, Dragonflight hype got us too wilded out. We've got plenty of more things to talk about. We've got personal shout-outs that were sent our way. Blah! But we're running low on time, so we'll see you all next week. In the meantime, though, I'm going to give a personal shout-out to our patrons. We're talking about Command Sergeant Major Tijurla, 4th host of the podcast Jamonkey. Ahoy Vince. Period. Instinct/Drag Race, Azarin, Mitch, who wants the pod to know that the hunters of Uno Mas are burly boys. Crucifix, Cardicase, Saracen Hawk, -1 Duck Dorno. Gershom, that 100% Christmas bitch. Hoax, asking Growlina to say, for the Horde. Vanderlyle, generational talent and excellence of execution. Smarf, debased god. I just assume that's a wrestling.
Bret Hart.
There you go. Slidewhistle says...
Bret Hart. Fuck Craig.
Bret Hart fucked Craig. Sorry, bud. And Will, a.k.a. Tire... yeah, it's pretty cool. And Will, a.k.a. Tire, trade chat's fallen father.
And with that, we're out of here. Thank you, you lovely patrons, you sexy beasts. If you want to join this elite stable of men and women who represent our country, the DN Army, you can join them at patreon.com/do-not-relent. What about you guys? Where can they find you on the internet? After they send me an email at navarracoffin@gmail.com.
You can find me, Alex or Immunization, on Twitter at NewEraAlex. You can join our podcast Discord at DoNotRelent.com, or you could follow our podcast Instagram account on the gram at DoNotRelent.
You can find me, Aaron the Human, at the Bigacheesy on Twitter.com. You can read the show's literary musings at DoNotRelent.livejournal.com. And as stated before, come watch me on Twitch at twitch.tv/AaronDNR.
A little bit of late breaking news here. I just needed to formally announce that DNR is now officially a Mormon goth hentai podcast.
Thank you. I hope you would see it.
And with that, we're out of here. We'll see you guys next week. And remember...
Another down! Do not relent!
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.
Tits out for Militia.
Even if hers aren't.
They are.
In our hearts.
I see them.